Hi guys, welcome back. I hope you can hear me this time. I made an absolute, well, I had an absolute mare with the Europa League final in more ways than one. Obviously lost the game if you didn't see it, 3-1 against Lazio. And somebody in the live comments kindly pointed out that I didn't have a mic on either, so, which like I said to them a couple of minutes ago was probably a good thing because I was swearing and he was full of rage and although I don't want to be like that, the game, it's impossible not to be with this game, to be honest. Anyway, this is the end of season review and awards, where I'm just going to be picking out the Sir Matt Busby Player of the Year, Players Player, Goal of the Season, Reserve Player of the Year, and Young Player of the Year, as well as just going through my squad hub to see the player growth and stuff like that. So, and have a little chat about plans for next season as well, and basically just take us up to the end of the season. So I'll start off with the squad hub and a review of. Well, if it's the first time watching me, I'll take you through everything, even the how we performed in the season. Very quick recap. Might be some people's first time watching, so we had Chelsea at home in the first game, drew 1-1. We then beat Wolves away 2-1. Beat Palace 1-0 at home. Beat Southampton 5-0. We had a decent start. Went to Leicester, I think we drew 1-1, yeah. A late Martial goal there. First Europa League game, we won 1-0. West Ham drew again 2-2. Went to Villa in the Carabao Cup first round and lost 4-1. That's a game where we played Matic, Pereira and a couple of others and they really let us down. Went to Arsenal then and beat them 1-0 at home. AZ, we drew 1-1. Newcastle beat them 2-1. Liverpool 0-0 in the game we should have won. Beat Ostersund's 5-0 in the third game of the Europa League. Beat Norwich 3-1. So we had a decent start to the Premier League. 3-0 against Bournemouth. Ostersund's return game at 3-1. Brighton we lost 1-0 at home. That was a shocker. I think that was the start of our form getting a bit inconsistent. See 0-0 then against Sheffield United. Beat Lords 2-1. Villa we beat them 4-2. Went to Spurs and lost 2-1. No, sorry, they came to Old Trafford. We took the lead in that game with 10 minutes to go. And then they ended up winning 2-1. A proper snatch and grab from Jose. Went to City, drew 1-1. AZ 3-2. Everton 1-0 at home. We beat Watford 4-2 away. Lost 3-0 against Newcastle at home. That's another shocker. Burnley 3-1 away. Arsenal lost 1-0. See, our results are getting inconsistent now. Beat Derby 3-0 in the first game of the FA Cup. Norwich we beat 1-0 at home. Lost again to Liverpool 3-1 at Anfield. In a ridiculous scripted game. Well, bullshit game, I'd say. We just managed to beat Burnley 4-3. Wigan 2-0 in the next round of the FA Cup. We went to Wolves and lost 3-1. Or they came to Old Trafford. That's another loss at Old Trafford. Really poor. Then we went to Stamford Bridge and beat them 2-1. Again, inconsistency is huge. Beat Galatasaray 3-1 in the first leg. Went to Watford, beat them 4-0. And then beat Galatasaray 1-0 at Old Trafford. Everton 1-1 away. We lost to Fulham in a shocker 4-3. Then we actually beat City 1-0 at Old Trafford. Benfica 1-0 and 1-1. That was quite a tight tie. Beat Sheffield United 2-1. Brighton we beat 4-0. And then beat Inter Milan 4-0 at the San Siro. Bournemouth 0-0. From this point now, this is when we knew top four was impossible, and it shows in our results. 0-0 against Bournemouth. We beat Inter 2-0 in the return leg. Then in the Premier League we drew again 1-0 with Villa. Lost 4-0 away to Spurs in another disgusting performance. Drew again with Southampton. Lost 1-0 to Roma. See, our form is really poor here. Towards the end of the season, this is where my squad morale started to dip. And players were content / unhappy, and you can tell in the results. 1-0 with Palace. 4-0 against Roma. Lost at home to West Ham 3-1. Lost 4-1 to Leicester. The end of the season was disgusting. And then in the season decider, or finale rather, against Lazio, 3-1. Having taken the lead. Took the lead. They scored 2 in the 88th, I think it was the 85th minute. We had a penalty. I knew I was never going to score it. Keeper saved it. And then they run up the other end and scored again. So that's the Premier League. Liverpool were crowned champions. Just. Only the 2 points ahead of City. Only lost twice all season. 100 points. So we've got Liverpool, City, Spurs and Chelsea going into the Champions League. And then Wolves, Leicester and ourselves in the Europa League yet again. Wolves were literally going into the last game in the Champions League spot, but then they played Chelsea and lost. And Chelsea leapfrogged them. Crazy end. And then again relegated, you got Watford, Southampton and Sheffield United. I'll show you the winners of the cups as well. FA Cup, I think it was Spurs. Spurs Wolves. Yeah, 3-1 Spurs and Wolves. Carabao Cup, I think was City. Yeah. On penalties. Super Cup, I can't remember one. Oh, Liverpool, bloody hell. Liverpool won the Premier League, Super Cup and the Champions League. BPSG, oh, I haven't played it yet. Oh, I wonder if I'll change now, I hope not. As I went through all this on my last video, but I got to the end before being able to show you the squad hub for like a squad review, end of season review. So I backtracked a bit, not realising they haven't played the Champions League final yet. First time around they beat them 4-0. Shit. I might have tucked the Scousers right up there. Anyway, let's go to the squad hub. 2 seconds, guys. So De Gea stayed on 88. Dean Henson only went up for 1 and was in bad form pretty much all season, which is probably why he's only gone up 1. Bit disappointed with that. I mean, a player with his potential should be growing a bit more than that, but Sheffield United did have a poor season, so I suppose that reflects his lack of growth. O'Hara will be getting sold, currently on loan at Burton Albion, but he'll be going. Joel Pereira will be my emergency backup, so I'll be loaning him out again. And only really calling him back if I get an injury, which I highly doubt, as goalkeepers never get injured. Romero's already agreed terms with Olympique Marseille, so he's going. Borthwick Jackson, currently on loan at Oldham, he'll be leaving in the summer. Luke Shaw, I'm very undecided on. I doubt he'll be leaving in the summer, but he's not impressed me at all really this season. Although he has improved. Now he's gone up to... He was my first choice for most of the season, but then towards the end I started playing Darlow left back a lot more. And he was impressing me, so... Undecided on Luke Shaw, but I doubt there'll be any movement there this summer. Brandon Williams gone up 3. And this is all without training as well, guys. I don't do any player training. I try and keep the player growth realistic. Brandon Williams, only 19, went up 3 this season, so very happy with him. Played 21 games. Looking very good. Twanzebe, my first choice alongside Lindelof for probably 3/4 of the season. And his growth reflects it by going up 2. I think I still need a centre back in the summer, and I got a couple in mind, so we will be bringing a centre back in, but that doesn't mean Twanzebi's going to play any less or not going to get opportunities to play. Lindelof, aka Prime Vidic, he's had an unbelievable season. Gone up to, still only 25, he's been immense. Rojo on loan at Eston, I'm not going to try and pronounce it. He be leaving in the summer. Smalling I'm going to use as a backup centre-back. So either as one of the two backups to my first choice, or like Pereira, an emergency backup player. So if one of my centre-backs gets injured, Smalling will come in. Jones has already been sold on agreed terms with Valencia, so he's going. Maguire will be leaving. He's only lasted the season at Old Trafford. He's been terrible. He's had a really poor season, Maguire, and very unhappy because he wasn't getting played. But he even submitted a transfer request, which I was more than happy to agree to. He's going. Bai, although he moaned a lot about game time, even though he played 26 games, will be staying. And when he did play, he played quite well, especially towards the end of the season. He started off a bit dodgy, but Bai's quite a solid defender, so I'll be keeping Bai. Bernard probably be trying to loan him. I tried loaning him in January, but there's a glitch on the game where with some players, you put him on loan. Look, I'll try and remove him from loan list. He's still on the loan list. I've noticed it with other players before. I think Galbraith is the same on this career mode. So I played him a couple of times towards the end of the season, played 9 games, so only 19. And when he's played very well, so I'll try and get a loan for Bernard. Wan-Bissaka's been brilliant, one of my best players. Gone up free, he's going to be world-class right back, if he isn't already. 84-22, very happy with him. Dalla, one of the most improved players, only 21 and 77 overall. Chomping at the bit to take Luke Shaw's spot at left back. And it could well happen this upcoming season. He's been really good. Played 39 games, 4 assists. Mensah, someone I'm going to be trying to play in CDM. I know he can play right back as well, and he will cover right back if need be, but I'll be trying to use him as CDM, and I think he could be a very good CDM. Still needs work, obviously he's only 74 overall, and his passing isn't the best. But defensively and physically, he's very good. Sprint speed 91. I think it is his passing that lets him down. I can't see. Oh, it's saying that 75 short pass. He's getting better. He's improving. He's going to be a very good CDM, Mensah. Ethan Laird, send him out on loan and went up 2. Still only 18. Another player will be loaning out next season, but got high hopes for. Again, I think he's going to be a very good player. Got a lot of youngsters. But then to try and get them all to come through at the same time and develop them is quite a hard balance, while still trying to be competitive in the league and Europe. George Tanner will be leaving. I'm quite static right back and left back, and he's just not good enough, so he'll be leaving. Matic is going. He's going to Mönchengladbach. And as you can see, he's on the decline as well, so. Jimmy Garner, only 19 and gone up 3. Played quite a lot. 68. I think I'll be keeping Jimmy Garner around. And trying to get him. And because we're in the Europa League again next season, he'll be getting plenty of game time there. Played 18 times, which is quite good. As you can see, Europa League was his main area for game time, so we'll be having that again next season. Galbraith, who played very little, to be honest. I tried loaning him out, but the same glitch as Bernard. It wouldn't let me do it. But he's gone up by 3 without really playing much. Played twice. So I was going to get rid of him. I didn't see much of a future for him, but seeing how much he was developing without playing, I will try and loan him out. And, at 19, still got a lot of time to grow. Fred, very good this season, consistent. Very good to play as Fred. 41 games, 5 goals, 6 assists. Happy with Fred. Chong, another one who didn't play too much games, 21. Played a lot more towards the end of the season, Chong. But his growth, he was growing really without playing too much, so that's a good sign. 20 and 68 overall. Rashford had a bit of a stinker towards the start of the season, but towards the end he really changed his form and started playing well. Gone up 2. Ended up with 20 goals from 54 games and 4 assists. 15 in the league, which is one of the best. McTominay surprised me, to be honest. Normally I don't rate McTominay on FIFA, but he had a very solid season. Still needs to improve, obviously. But if he grows the same way he did last season, I think he's going to be very good. 6 goals, 5 assists in 43 games. 31 games in the Premier League, that says it all. I said normally I don't really rate McTominay, and second, third season I'm normally looking to get rid of him, but that won't be happening this time. Levitt, my best grower. Although on January went on loan to Cardiff City, gone up 4. Only 19. 67 overall. This guy I think he's going to be a very good player. Again, I'll probably end up loaning him to get him more game time, but that's undecided yet, I'm not sure. He could surprise everyone and surpass Jimmy Garner. I'm not just saying it because of my accent, because he's a fellow Taff. He could genuinely surpass Garner. And I think he's on loan till January anyway. Because I loaned him out in... Yeah, he is. He's with Cardiff until January, so... If he keeps growing the way he's going, he could come back 72, 73 at 19, 20. Pogba had a decent season. Went up 2, scored 10 and assisted 11, so he's in double figures for both, which I'd expect. So he played okay. Played better once Bruno arrived in January. But still, I expect a bit more from Pogba. Hamilton, I'm undecided. I don't know if to loan him out again. Seems quite a decent player, but 6'2", quite a physical player, CDM. Got some nice stats, but I'll probably loan him out again if I can. Lingard will be staying for squad depth. I don't know how much game time he'll get. Well, probably quite a bit, because I want to be a lot more competitive in the domestic competitions this time. The League Cup and FA Cup. So I loaned Pereira out. I was thinking of selling him, because I hardly played him. As you can see, he played 9 times, and 2 of them were in pre-season. I thought for squad depth, which we massively missed out on this season, I'm going to send him out on loan, and Milan come in for him, so he's going to Milan. If we need to pull him back, then he's always it, pull back. Angel Gomez, 1971, gone up 3. Had quite a solid season, fair play. 21 games, 5 goals, and 4 assists. So he's developing nicely. Mata is leaving. He's going to Lazio, who just won the fucking Europa League. He's on the decline, the same as Matic, 32 years of age. And yeah, with the players that are already gone, the ones I'm thinking of bringing in, there's no room for Mata in the team anymore. Bruno Fernandes, bit of a mixed bag really when he come in. 8 goals and 6 assists, although some of them were for Sporting in the Europa League. Premier League he played 11 times, scored 3, assisted 3, so that's quite decent stats. Needs to step up again next season on, I'm sure he will. Dan James had a very solid season, 54 games, Dan James. That's probably one of the highest. 4 goals, 6 assists. And he's gone up 2. He's going to be brilliant again, I think, Dan James. Stays free of injury, he'll be a very good player. Lexi Sanchez, I'm thinking of keeping, and this might shock a couple of people. But again, I'm thinking squad depth. This last season, I had Rashford on the left, Dan James on the right. Then my backup to them two was Lingard, sometimes Matt, although I don't like playing him out wide, and Chong. Obviously, I'm going to look at the market and try and sign someone, particularly a right winger, if I can. But then I don't see any harm in keeping Sanchez. He can play left wing, he can play on the right, he can play 10, and he can play up front if I need him. So, although he's on the decline, I think he's still quite a handy player to have around. At least for a season. Or even until January, if I think it's not worth it and he's not playing well. I'll get rid of him in January, but yeah, I'm going to keep Sanchez around. Greenwood done very well. Still only 18. Crazy. 73 overall. Quite happy about the team performance, which is understandable. Played 40 games, 13 goals. Very good debut season for Mason. Mr. Europa League. 10 appearances, 9 goals, and 5 assists. Martial, my top scorer. 51 games, 23 goals and 11 assists. Quite happy with that. 17 goals in the Premier League. That's it. Let's see who played the most amount of games. 51. 54. Dan James. I think Dan James will win. For outfield players anyway. Rashford 54. Was that the same as Dan James? Can't remember. Yeah, 54, yeah. Dan James and Rashford. Lindelof maybe? No, Lindelof was injured. 34. I imagine De Gea will have the most out of everyone. No, 49. Right, that's a bit of a season review, guys. Now I'll just quickly go on to the awards I've written down. The Manchester United Player of the Year awards. Start off with the Sir Matt Busby Player of the Year. And this is quite an easy one. If anyone's watched the season or even part of the season, they'll know that one man has stood head and shoulders above the rest as far as consistency and level of performance. And that man is none other than Prime Vidic, Victor Lindelof. He has been immense. He's been so good, I'm thinking of putting the captaincy on him for next season. Which if you told me at the start of the season, I thought I'd never be saying it. But honestly, he has been amazing. He had one poor game that I remember against Spurs. But we played crap as a collective in that game. He was immense. That says it all. 34 games, 16 assists. Nearly a clean sheet in every other game. And you compare that to the other centre-backs. Actually, Twanzabi's is quite similar. But then again, they are my first choice centre-backs. Then like Maguire, 7 out of 26. Bailly, 9 out of 26. He's just been immense, Lindelof, really has. So he's my Sir Matt Busby Player of the Year. Next one is a Players Player, which again goes to Victor Lindelof. Again, as far as performance, he's out there on his own. I'd say the closest player to him was Wan-Bissaka, and Wan-Bissaka had a very good season, but as far as consistency and level of performance, he's out there on his own. Right, the next one is Goal of the Season. And although I don't remember a lot of the goals, obviously, one does stand out in my mind. And it goes to Marcus Rashford. It was the goal he scored against Newcastle in episode 6. If you want to go and watch it, it's 1 hour, 30 minutes and 5 seconds into the stream. It's his free kick at St. James's Park, and it's one of the first free kicks I've ever scored, so pretty much for that reason alone is my goal of the season. And my reaction to it says it all. Next up is the Reserve Player of the Season. And I've given that to Dylan Levitt. As I said during the season review, or player review, gone up 4 with quite little game time, still only 19. And to be 19 to 67, if he carries on growing like that, early 20s, he's going to be a very good player and be featuring a lot more. So Levitt wins the Reserve Player of the Year, and the last award, the Young Player of the Year award, goes to Mr. Europa League, Mason Greenwood. Scored 9 goals out of 10 appearances in the Europa League at his age. Says it all, really. So, yeah, he's my Young Player of the Year. And that's it for the awards, guys. That's what I'd add there in as a little, again, trying to keep it like realistic and a bit of fun, really. Right, I want to see if Liverpool still win the Champions League. If they don't, I will feel quite bad about that. Because first time round, they beat PSG 4-0. Yeah, they still won. Not quite 4-0, but they still won, so that's good. Not that I want Liverpool to win, don't get me wrong, but I didn't want to like restart the game from Lazio onwards, and for the results to change, if you get me. Matic leaving, yeah, we know. Maguire. I might try and involve Maguire in a deal for a centre-back, which is why I've declined Barcelona's pretty pathetic offer of 31.6 million for him. Well below his value. Leisberg 41 is a better offer, but saying that, Leisberg have got 3 centre-backs on my shortlist, so in the summer I might look at that. It's set for centre-back, it's pretty much between them and probably two other players who I won't say now. You might know anyway from other videos, but from a youth academy standpoint, I'm looking for a young centre-back to bring through. Preferably English. I don't want to bring too many youth academy players through at the same time. Just done that one. I've calmed down a bit now from the Lazio game. Still obviously majorly annoyed, but... And then the Europa League again next season. But I did say during the Lazio game, is this team ready for Champions League? Honest answer, no. Still want to be in it, of course we do. But as far as it being ready, no way. Nowhere near. We're not on track, yeah, I'm well aware of that, Ed. Thanks for pointing it out. Before we actually end the season on this little stream, end the season stream, I'm gonna have a quick little... Well, I'm gonna show you. I know who's on there. I'm gonna have a little browse through my shortlist See the sort of players I'm looking at. I only now realise you can do that. Sort it out so they're in order of position. I literally only found that out a couple of days ago. So Max Aaron's with Luke Shaw's, with me being undecided on Luke Shaw, Max Aaron's could be a genuine target. Maybe not for this summer, but in the future, still only 20. Because I've been playing Dallow at left back quite a lot. Because he's been playing better than Shaw. So if I did move Dallow to left back, that'd mean Dallow would be my left back, first choice. Brandon Williams backup. Aaron Wan-Bissaka would be first choice right back. Meaning I'd need cover at right back. Laird is still a bit too young, so I'll loan him out again. But Max Aaron's could be ready to step in straight away, so. A couple of young centre-backs who I'm keeping an eye on. Skriniar, more of a ready-made centre-back, world-class centre-back, only 25. Ampadu again, another youngster. Quite a lot of youngsters on you guys who I'm keeping an eye on. 18 and 60, young English centre-back, Braithwaite from Everton. Hernandez, if he wasn't at Bayern, I'd probably sign him. This guy's a beast. 24. Look how fast he is. 79 acceleration, 85 speed. Brilliant stats. The guy's a beast. Badiashile from Monaco. Another young centre-back I'm keeping an eye on. Wood, yet another 18, English 64. Mukiel, the centre-back I chose to sign on my last career mode in the first summer window. And again, very interested in. Only 22, 79. Again, very fast. Sprint speed 89. Jumping 88. Decent strength. Tackling's good. Heading accuracy's decent. Passing's good. Crossing, dribbling, ball control, all very good. Brilliant all-rounder. Can also play right back. And crossing is one of his traits. Pamecano, more of a better known centre-back. 21-81. Ake, probably too short for me, if I'm honest, as a centre-back. I like my centre-backs to be probably about 6'2", 6'3". But I thought I'd scout him, and he got decent stats. I won't end up signing him though. Centre-back from Brazil, 28-83. More of an established centre-back. Fast, strong, very good player. Kanate is the third of the Lisbeth players I got on my shortlist, centre-backs. And again, the guy's a beast. 21-81, 6'4". Fast. Very, very good. Soler, another centre-back who I'm scouting. Another one. Koulibaly. Probably behind Van Dijk, the best centre-back on the game. Well, in the world. Let's try and make it realistic. The world. Guy's an absolute beast. 29. So you probably get 2 or 3 seasons out of him at his peak. But even then, at 90, even a couple of seasons after that, he's still getting a very good centre-back. Medley, I just started scouting him recently. 1966. I'll probably be removing him off my shortlist. Longley, as you can see, like I said, a lot of centre-backs on this list. Longley, he's at Barcelona, so I won't be signing him. I was just curious about his stats. 25 years of age and 87 overall. Again, a very good centre-back. Davis, again, because he's at Bayern, I won't be signing him. At this point anyway, but if he was still... I think he was with Vancouver, was he? Vancouver Whitecaps, something like that, before he went to Bayern. If he was there, I'd be signing him. So he's like the perfect left back to me. For the way I play, he's pretty much spot on. A couple of other young fullbacks I'm keeping an eye on. I noticed this guy, people talking about this guy on Twitter the other day. I found him through scouting alone, but 1973, very good left back. New Zealander as well, unusual. Indeedy. I was looking at CDMs, but I'm happy with the ones I got going forward at the moment. Kimmich would probably be my ideal CDM. Brilliant, brilliant player. But again, because he's at Bayern and nobody really tends to leave Bayern, especially German players, can't see me signing him. Now my dream signing for season 1, because we failed to qualify for Champions League, I will not be signing Jadon Sancho. So I'm hoping he doesn't sign for anybody else. If he does, we might have lost him for the entire career mode. So gutted with that. 2088 overall. Would have given us a massive boost on the right wing, which we're crying out for, but no Champions League football means no Jadon Sancho, unfortunately. Lookman, an alternative to Sancho. Room to improve, but he's still only 22. So he's an option. Camavinga. A lot of CMs here who I may still look at in the summer, I'm not sure. Camavinga, more of a younger centre mid, but only 17 and 75. That's outrageous. Outrageous. Fabian, Van der Beek, Gravenberch, Gibbs White. Also other contenders. Couple of left wingers now, Kluivert, Leon Bailey. Sessegnon, if I did sign him, he'd be more of a... I'd play him at left back. But because Spurs are in the Champions League and we're third in the league, I'm not going to sign him. Why would you want to leave Spurs, who are, as I just said, third in the league and in the Champions League, and join us down in 7th and in the Europa League? James Maddison, somebody who I love on FIFA and a massive fan of. Very good stats. Only 23, still an 84. Scored against us twice this season. The prick. Jack Grealish. Same sort of mould as Maddison, slightly different, but can't play in the same sort of areas. Has grown a bit this season, still only 24, 82. So he's another option. Here, Taran. I don't know if that's how you pronounce his name. Again, some of you might be really familiar with this guy through FIFA or whatever, but I honestly found him through scouting. 1877. Absolutely crazy. Not the quickest for a winger, mind. But again, at 18, he's only gonna get better, so he's another option for right wing, actually. Although I might look for a more experienced player. So I got a lot of youngsters coming through at the same time, so I don't really need another teenager, I don't think, yet. Memphis Depay, ex-United, can play left, right, 10 and centre forward. Still only 26. Very, very good player. Griezmann, I was just curious about his stats. He's not a target. Felix would be very, very long-term target, if at all. Obviously at Atletico, only 20, 83. Don't be one of the world's best players. But like I said, if I'm going to sign him at all, he's going to be well in the future. And we'd have to be doing well in the Champions League. So he's well off being a target at the moment. A realistic target, anyway. Correa just played us in the Europa League final with Lazio. Can't remember if he scored. I think he did. Very good player. Can play striker and cam. And can probably play off the wings as well if I needed him to. Hulk, again, I was just scouting China and spotted the big man. Absolute tank. 33 now, though. Dembele at Celtic, only 17, 67 overall. I was thinking of buying him and then loaning him straight out. If FIFA was more realistic, I'd sign him now, but then loan him back to Celtic for 2 seasons. But FIFA being FIFA, you can't do that. Traore, the speed demon himself. Januzaj went to Chelsea. The kit does suit him, to be fair. It's only 25.81. I always put him on my shortlist, but never really sign him. I think that ship has sailed. Almada, somebody else who I found through genuinely scouting and not looking online or anything. 1976. Can play anywhere really along the front line. And unlike the Dutch player, is very fast. Haaland again. If I sign him at all, he'd be well down the line. We'd have to be in the Champions League. You haven't long gone to Dortmund either, so I'll be removing him off my shortlist. I was just curious about him. Arnautovic. Put him on there because I don't know whether I'm going to be looking at a striker, like a physical presence, good in year type of striker. And when I seen him in China, I was like, interesting. 6'4", he's a unit, which you all know from the Premier League. Fast, 81 sprint speed, 76 acceleration. Strength is 82. Long shots 82, and his all-round stats are very good. Only his defensive stats there in the red. Everything else is green and light green. So that could be a genuine target. 31, so he's not going to cost much. Your value 20. That could be a cheap, short-term solution at centre forward as backup for Martial. Someone who's not going to be demanding to play every game, so I should be able to get him on. I'd hope I'd be able to get him on a rotation contract, so he'd be happy to play a bit part. He'd be a very good player to use in the season, and like I said, cheap. And it would be short term. Another player who fits into the exact same mould as what I just said is Odion Igalo, who's obviously with us in real life. I tried loaning him on the game in January, but it wouldn't let me do it. Again, decent stats, but compare it to Arnautovic. Arnautovic is clearly the better player. I don't know whether to look into those deals, or a deal like that. Dolberg, exactly the same. These three are very similar in what I'm looking for. A physical presence, strong, good in air striker. 22.80. He's got room to improve, unlike the other two, and is only going to get better. He's got everything I'm looking for. He could potentially be cheaper than Arnautovic as well. I want to get a striker that's not going to disrupt Greenwood's growth. I don't want to get... Who can I think of? Like a younger striker, like similar to Greenwood, who's going to take Greenwood's spot. I want to get someone who's going to agree to a rotation contract, or not be demanding to play every game. Someone who can play alongside Greenwood, while also covering for Martial. Icardi. Again, only short, but he fits into the same sort of mould, except he would want a different type of contract and it's going to cost a lot more, so I won't be looking at him. Martinez, I'd love to sign him. The guy's an absolute tank. He's going to be one of the best strikers in the game, in the world. Because we knocked Inter Milan out of the Europa League convincingly, that hasn't completely closed the door on him. But then he would be obviously a world-class signing, so... And he'd be wanting to play every game, which could disrupt Martial. I might keep an eye on that. Piatek, I'll be removing him off my shortlist. I was just curious about his stats. Dembele, who is strongly linked with in real life, 23.84. Very good stats. But again, he'd be wanting probably more than what I'd be able to offer him. And he is an out-and-out striker, so it's not as if I'd be able to play him off the left or off the right, really. Let go the scouting. Calvert-Lewin again falls into the same category as the other guys, but he's English, 23, 6'2". Surprised me with his stats. His stats are really, really good. Very fast, very strong. Good in the air. And speed dribbler. I'm very surprised by his stats. McBurney again, I was just curious about his stats really. I'll be removing him off my shortlist. Zirkzee, youngster from Bayern Munich 2, 6'4". Could be a decent player. Hala from West Ham, again similar type of player. Beretta exactly the same, and Wesley. So you can see the sort of strikers I'm looking at. Physical presence, strong in the air. I don't know whether I'll sign one or I'm not sure. So that's the shortlist anyway. Is that new? Yeah. 6'5". Some of these youngsters are huge. Bit of a CDM. He's dropped down to 84 now. Potential 64 to 84 potential. Kind of tidy looking youngsters here. Like I said earlier, I want to bring through a young centre back from a youth academy. And just that at the moment, I'm not really looking at any other position. Some of the guys returning from their loans. Others, like I said earlier, like Levitt, will be staying until January. I think it was Levitt, Lade, and maybe that's it. I want to advance so I don't have to look at Immobile scoring that goal. Winding me up a bit. It's like, yeah, I know I lost. I can't wait to ship some of the players out of the door as well. And to see Jones gone, Mata gone, Matic gone. Get rid of Borthwick, Jackson, O'Hara. Even I'm quite. I don't want to say excited, but looking forward to seeing how Alexis plays as well. As a squad player, he could be very good. It's one thing Season 1 showed me, is the thing I banged on about all season, lack of quality, lack of depth. And that's why I need to improve for next season. Which is why I'm keeping Alexis Sanchez, why I'm keeping Lingard. This is all the players returning back from loan. That's not. This could be new actually. No, it's not. Oh, they've dropped down, mind. 84. Ah, that was the same as before. Here we go, guys. We are ending Season 1 in disappointing fashion. Ollie's managerial rating has dropped down to 57, which is borderline getting sacked. And it doesn't bode well for next season either. I read this earlier, but I'll read it again in case you didn't see the episode earlier. It should come as no surprise as... I'll start again. It should not come as a surprise to you that we are not entirely satisfied with our results this season. We have failed to achieve a number of objectives and have this fallen short of what we expected to accomplish, both on and off the pitch. We were hoping for a stronger commitment. This is harsh, but This is really hard from Woodward. We were hoping for a stronger commitment and better results from you. Results, yeah. Commitment. Ed, I played every single second of every game. Some people sim games. I was there every second on the touchline. I don't deserve that. That said, we believe that you deserve another chance and would like you to stay on at Man United next season. Very tough message from Woodward. The board are not happy but are willing to give me another chance. My main concern now, though, is my managerial rating is 57. The players' morales are pretty much in the bin. For most of the season, they were happy and we were doing really well, but then we hit that little patch where a lot of them went content because of where we were in the league. And then because our league position worsened, and then we eventually lost in the Europa League final, a lot of them are unhappy now, which is going to affect my performances even more. So if a team's morale is low, it means they perform worse, which was evident from the end of last season. So we don't want to be starting next season the same. So that's why I might look at some sign-ins. Not sign-ins, contract extensions. Improving some players' contract extensions at the start of the season. Try and get off to a good start. So Lindelof cleaning up at the season awards. Player and players player of the season. If he carries on the way he's going, he's going to be one of the best around. Well, he already is. In a struggling team to play the way he played. Pre-season invites. New Zealand, all the big boys are going. Lazio are going to Brazil. A couple of the other Europa League teams from last season. Dortmund, Napoli. I might go to South Korea. I was going to Asia in the first place. Dortmund, Napoli, Ajax. I quite like that. Yeah, I'm gonna go to South Korea. Least amount of money, well, second least, but I don't care about that. Looking at the other teams going to Korea, Dortmund, Napoli. I could be interested in one or two of their players, so after the games, I may well meet up with them and try and discuss some business, you know? Right, here we go. Contract expiring in 12 months. I'll get Woodward on the case with that. Woodward has agreed, and Pereira have come to a agreement on a 2-year contract extension and 31,000 a week, sporadic squad role. So Pereira stays. Look at their squad morale though. Hideous. We can't start the season with a morale like that. We really need to get out of this slump. I put him on the loan list as well. Hopefully he gets a tidy loan. O'Hara can go. Even if I got it, if nobody comes in for him, I'm going to release him. Still not need him. Henderson. Really happy to see Henderson back. He's going to be my number 2. Why isn't Romero gone? Oh, hang on guys, let me just skip forward one day. They clearly haven't gone yet. Although Henderson has come back, that's weird. Maguire, you go in, trust me. Alright, here we go. Transfer listed. Henson, I'll probably end up changing his kit number, but not quite yet. I'm quite fussy on my kit numbers. De Gea. Quite content, so that's decent. He could easily have been unhappy, De Gea. Luke Shaw. Brandon Williams, 72, but unhappy. All because of a team performance. Play performance is good, play time and contract. I don't agree that just because of a team performance he should be unhappy. Content, yeah. It's a bit extreme. Borthwick. Go in. Lindelof, as I said earlier, could well be my captain. Again, I'm undecided on that. Smalling staying. I'll change his kit number to his old number, number 12. Here he is. Still 30. 6'4". Still quite nippy as well for a centre back. Yeah, he'll be alright for another season, Smalling at least. It could surprise me, could do very well. Rojo can go. Ah, no. By staying, Twanzebe staying, Maguire can go. Though, as I said earlier, I might try and involve him in a deal for another centre-back. Bernard. See, that thing that's carried over from last season is a joke. He's on the loan season, he's on the loan list, but it's as if he's not. Because nobody comes in for him, and I can't take him off it. Oh, the game's a joke, honestly. Mensah, I'm going to give him a new contract. See, he did develop well last season, so he does deserve it. Delegate, I'll hand it over to Woodward again. 81,000 rotation, 3 years. So Mensah's agreed new terms. Wan-Bissaka. Tana can go. Lade's still on loan until January, so hopefully he can develop a little bit more. Dallo. Content, good. Fred, content. James Garner. I'm sure I gave him a contract last season. But at the end, he's improved quite a bit, so. Prospect, 4-year contract extension at 24,000 for Jimmy Garner. Galbraith. Rashford. He's another player, same as Bernard. Put him on the loan list. But it's as if he's not even on it. Nobody comes in for him. Levitt. Hamilton, I'm going to loan again. Oh, number 7. Not for long, mate. Pereira at AC Milan. Handy player to bring back if I need him. Not his biggest fan, but Jesse Lingard in the last 12 months of his contract now. Bruno. Dan James. Sanchez back in United colours. Who would have thought that? And staying. At least until January anyway. Could be longer. Changing his kit number. He's not getting the 7 back. Or 17, which you can have 19. Sanchez in the 19. Like I said, a decent player to have around for squad depth. Greenwood 74. Martial. Alright guys, I'm going to leave this one there. In the next one, which I will be doing after this one will be pre-season and probably the transfers as well. So thanks for watching, and I shall see you in the next one for some business. Ciao, guys.